The English is a more patient opening where white plays c4 to control the d5 square without committing a central pawn. c6 prepares for a quick d5 pawn push in the center. d4 takes space in the center, controls the e5 and c5 squares and allows the dark squared bishop to develop. This strikes at the center with a pawn, fighting for space. cxd5 recaptures the pawn and creates a symmetrical pawn structure. Nf3 develops the knight toward the center, supports the d4 pawn and controls the e5 square. Nf6 develops the knight toward the center, supports the d5 pawn and controls the e4 square. Nc3 develops the knight toward the center, attacks the d5 pawn and controls the e4 square. Nc6 develops the knight toward the center, attacks the d4 pawn and controls the e5 square. Bf4 develops the bishop to an active diagonal where it controls the center. This attacks a bishop, winning a tempo when it moves away. It is the last book move. This moves the bishop to safety. It is best. This kicks an opposing bishop. It is best. This move puts the bishop on a safer square. It is best. This prepares the bishop for development. It is excellent. The bishop is ready to be developed to an active square. It is best. Forcing the opponent to double their pawns helps create weaknesses. It is best. Takes back. This threatens to reveal an attack on a pawn. It is best. This kicks an opposing knight. It is best. This moves the knight to safety. This threatens to fork pieces. It is excellent. This develops a bishop off its starting square, getting it into the action. This is the only move that works. This prevents the opponent from being able to fork pieces. It is a great move. This activates a bishop by developing it off of its starting square. It is excellent. Right on target. It is best. The rook is now on an open file, which helps control squares across the board. It is good. This develops a bishop off its starting square, getting it into the action. It is best. This develops a queen off its starting square, getting it into the action. It is best. Castling gets the king to a safer square, out of the center of the board, while also developing a rook. Castling kingside tends to be safer because the king is further from the center. It is best. That's fine. It is good. Very precise. It is best. That's what I would have recommended. It is best. This ignores an opportunity to defend a pawn that was under attack. It is an inaccuracy. This is the strongest option. It is best. This is the only good move. It is a great move. Recaptures. It is best. This wins material. This threatens to win a rook. It is best. This prevents the opponent from being able to pin a rook. It is best. This misses an opportunity to capture a vulnerable rook. It is a miss. This loses material. It is a blunder. This overlooks an opportunity to capture a vulnerable rook. It is a miss. This is the only move that works. This was a game-changing move, giving white a winning position. It is a great move. Takes back. It is best. Recaptures. It is best. That was a free queen. It is best. The king has lost its castling rights. Only one move worked there, and this wasn't it? This misses an opportunity to threaten winning a pawn. This permits the opponent to win a tempo by threatening a knight. It is a mistake. This wins a tempo by threatening a knight and forcing it to move away. It is best. That was a great move and very hard to find. It is brilliant. This ignores an opportunity to threaten winning a pawn. It is an inaccuracy. This is the only move that works. This is the start of the endgame and white is better. It is a great move. This develops a rook off its starting square, getting it into the action. It is best. This threatens to take an outpost with a bishop. It is an inaccuracy. The rooks can see each other now, allowing them to provide mutual defense. It is best. That's not a mistake, but it's not the best move either. It is good. Right on target. It is best. White had an advantage, but now the game is close to equal. It is a mistake. This is the only good move. It is a great move. This moves the bishop to safety. It is excellent. This blocks the attack on a pawn that could have been captured. It is best. This is a fair move. It is good. This challenges the opposing rook for control of the open file. It is excellent. That's fine. It is good. An active king is critical in the endgame, and getting it off of the back rank is the first step. It is excellent. This activates the king in the endgame by getting it off of the back rank. It is best. This is an equal trade. It is best. Recaptures. It is excellent. This takes an open file, a common method for activating a rook. It is best. A very strong play. It is excellent. That's not a mistake, but it's not the best move either. It is good. After all captures, this is an equal trade. It is best. Takes back. It is best. This threatens to create a passed pawn. There was only one good move in that position. It is a mistake. It is a miss. This moves the pawn to safety. It is best. This is an equal trade. It is best. Recaptures. It is best. Very precise. It is best. This move puts the bishop on a safer square. It is best. This is a fair move. It is good. After all captures, this is an equal trade. It is best. This maintains the balance in material with a good trade. It is best. This is an equal trade. It is best. Takes back. It is best. That's fine. It is good. That's not a mistake, but it's not the best move either. It is good. The passed pawn moves towards its goal. It is good. That's what I would have recommended. It is best. This defends the attacked pawn. It is best. This is the strongest option. It is best. Right on target. It is best. Very precise. It is best. This defends a pawn that was under attack and had no defenders. It is best. That's what I would have recommended. It is best. This is the strongest option. It is best. Right on target. It is best. The bishop now occupies an outpost, a secure square in the opponent's territory. It is best. Very precise. It is best. This steps away from the checking rook. It is best. That's what I would have recommended. It is best. This steps away from the checking rook. It is best. This is the strongest option. It is best. This steps away from the checking rook. It is best. Right on target. It is best. This steps away from the checking rook. It is best. Very precise. It is best. This defends a pawn that was under attack and had no defenders. It is best. Giveaway. One player was winning, but then gave it away. That game was pretty competitive. Both players had an amazing opening. Both players navigated the middle game well. Although White played a great endgame, Black did even better.